introduce someone to the stage that I've worked with for the past year in the Canadian market. Okay? This particular coach is a full-fledged pharmacist, okay? A mother of 2, proud spouse of 1, okay, so that's a good thing. And, yeah. But here's the thing, as I've talked to this individual, I've learned that she's one of the most kind, genuine, she's gonna hate me for saying this, introverted people that you meet, and now we're having her on the stage. She, in the beginning of 2015, was a diamond coach. Because of her leadership, because of her forward thinking, because of her ability to connect with others, she advanced to a 5-star diamond elite coach at the end of the year and was the #2 coach in the entire Canadian market and number 17 in the entire company. With that said, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome to the stage 2015 elite coach, Jen Wall. I know, I made sure to write that one down, remember that. Jen, welcome to the NLC stage. How you feeling?
Good.
Good, yeah, she's so bubbly, guys. So, Jen, I told them a little bit about your success and what you've done as a coach, but a part of what these stories are all about is finding out the story behind the leader, right? And so I wanted to ask you guys, we're gonna jump right into this. I want you to kind of paint the picture for our, the coaches here today. What was life for Jen like before Beachbody?
Okay, so for me, life before Beachbody, it was really good. I was a pharmacist. I was married to my best friend. We had just had my daughter Anna, so we had just had our second babies. We had a boy and a girl. We had that $1 million family. In Canada, we get a whole year for mat leave, so I was really excited. I had this whole year to spend with my family. And I think as new moms, we're kind of prepared for those first couple of months to be a little bit rough. We're gonna have those feedings and wakings and cryings and changings. And I was ready for that. But as the months went on, my sweet little Anna, she just didn't sleep longer. And it was month after month after month. And by the time she was about 8 months old, I was still getting up every 2 to 3 hours every single night. And I was exhausted. When you only have one baby, you can kind of sleep when they sleep. But when you have a toddler that's running around, that's used to having mom's full attention, it's really hard on everybody. You can't just have a nap when you have a toddler that's like, Mom, I want to play. And I really found that I was struggling, I was exhausted, and I was becoming this mom that I didn't want to be. I was putting on another movie, giving him Netflix, giving him the iPad, and I was like, Mommy just needs to take a break. So I was really, really worn out. And then a friend of mine said, you know what, you should try this program. It's called T25. And I've been doing Beachbody workouts since 2007. So I was like, that guy is like Sean T, he does insanity. I'm like, are you hearing me? I'm exhausted. I can't do an insanity workout. She's like, no, it's 25 minutes, 5 days a week. You can totally do this. So I bought a challenge pack. I got it home, opened it up, and I put in that first workout. And it was hard. I think in my head, I thought I was in better shape than I actually was. I was about 5 minutes into that workout, and I was like, ooh, this is hard. And I had to modify, but whatever, I made it through it. And I did it the next day, and I showed up the next day, and the day after that. And by day 5, I felt so much better. It was hard, but I was proud of myself that I showed up every single day for 5 days, and I was doing it. So that's when I called my coach, and I said, I've been seeing your posts, and you're going on these trips, and it seems like you're doing really well with this business. You're the top coach in Canada. I think I'd like to be a coach, but I want to be totally clear. I just want the discount. I've got all these stacks of programs at home that I'd like to save 25% on. I don't want to sell anything to anybody. I just want the discount, and that's kind of how I became a coach.
Awesome. So a nice little transition, right? So let me ask you this. After that year away on mat leave, you started doing T25, inquired about becoming a coach. What was it like as you went back to work? After a year of maternity leave in Canada, I heard some people wow, that's awesome, I need that.
It's awesome.
But tell us about kind of that transition of going back to work. Now that you're now a new coach, you got the discount. Tell us about that.
So that was when things really changed. So on mat leave, it was nice and relaxing. We get up, kids would have breakfast, I would work out, they'd cheer me on. And then those mornings were all of a sudden, they were gone. I was getting up at 5:30 to get my workout in, get ready for work, get the kids up, dressed, lunches packed, get them out the door to the babysitter, and it was very rushed and it was very chaotic, and then I would drop them off and I would go to work, and I would immediately feel guilty that I had rushed my kids through this whole morning, and I was snapping at them and rushing them along, and I would just feel so guilty when I got to work, and I'm like, now I'm stuck here for 10 hours, and I come home at 7:30, and my kids go to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I would come home at night, put them to bed, and I'd be like, wow, I'm an awesome mom. I shouted and yelled at my kids all morning, and I was at work all day, and then I came home and put them to bed. I'm like, yay me, this is like not how I want my life to be. I don't want to do this for the next 10, 15, 20 years. There's got to be sort of something better than that. Like, I didn't have this awesome family to like not see them and snap at them all the time. And then with work, I was starting to have this disconnect. As a pharmacist, I really love helping people. I love helping them get healthy and feel better about themselves. But the more that I was at work, I'd be chatting with my patients, and they would have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and I'd be giving them, like, here's these like 10 medications. And I just kept feeling like I was treating symptoms, but I wasn't helping them get better. And I'm like, oh, here's like another Band-Aid, and then here's another medication to treat the side effects of that medication. But I felt like I had this like secret solution in my back pocket, this exercise program and an eating plan and this amazing Shakeology that I couldn't like talk to them about at work. But I'm like, if you could just do this simple thing, you might not need all these medications, and you could actually feel better without having to have all these medications that you have to take all the time. So I really had a disconnect at work, and I had like stress in my family, and that's when I made a decision to really look at this Beachbody as an opportunity and not so much as just like a discount, fun hobby thing to do.
Absolutely, and as we talked about earlier, you've seen some huge success in what, a year and a half, month's time? Year and a half's time? Incredible movement. What do you think you were able to do to transition from being a full-time pharmacist, a mom, busy, just overwhelmed, to now being one of the most successful coaches, not just in Canada, but the entire network?
What was the question?
What did you do? What was the tipping point that allowed you to go from a full-time pharmacist to now a successful coach? What are some of the key things you did?
I think the first key thing was to really plug into the team, and I started looking at the success that people on the team were having. And I saw people that were like quitting their jobs, and they were like earning these cool trips, and I started looking at what they were doing, and I looked at them like, well, they have a full-time job, and their daughter is the same age as mine, and I looked at these other people, and like, oh, well, her daughter's the same age as my son, and I just looked at them and I thought, you know what, if they can do it, then why can't I? We're on the same team, we have the same training, I'm just gonna go for it. And I think a big thing was sitting down with my husband, Chad, and sort of setting out a plan, and he was like, I think you could be really good at this. Let's give it 2 years. Go all in for 2 years, and let's just see what you can do. And I think that was kind of part of it.
Right, that was the tipping point. And so you painted a picture for us earlier of what life was like before Beachbody. But share with us, how has Beachbody changed your and Chad's and the kids' lives since you went all in as a coach? What has that meant for you?
I don't want to cry. It has totally changed our life. I went from being this really stressed out mom who was missing out on everything. In 5 years, my son, he's 5. I've never had like dinner home with my family. So 3 weeks ago, I was able to leave my full-time job. So for 3 weeks, I've been home. So our mornings are a lot more relaxed. They still have places to be. We still have to get out the door on time, but it's not like this mad rush. I'm able to get him on the school bus every day. He gets off the school bus, he comes up, jumps in my arms, he tells me about his day. We get to hang out at home. I get to make supper and have dinner with my family. Like, that's a small thing for some people. It is huge for me. We get to hang out in the evening. I get to put them to bed. It's actually funny, the other day we were home. I was folding laundry and Chad was doing the dishes, and we kind of like, our eyes connected across the house. And he was like, this is really nice. And I'm like, yeah, folding laundry is awesome. And he's like, no, like, it's just nice that you're actually here, because I just hadn't been there for so long. I felt like he was single parenting from 4 to 7:30 every night, and it was really wearing on him. I mean, I always saw, like, I was stressed out and whatever, but it was really wearing on him to feel like he had to be a single parent every single night. So now we're both home, and Beachbody has totally changed our lives. And I remember Arno actually said it to me, because I'm like, life was good before Beachbody. But he said that, you know, good can hold you back from great. And I really, really, truly believe that without Beachbody, our life would still be good, but because of Beachbody, our life can and will be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get a round of applause. Well, I can tell you this, Jen, you were just scratching the tip of the iceberg of becoming great. Okay, you're a great coach, a fantastic leader, and even better than that, you're one of the most genuine people I know. So thank you for getting up in front of your peers, fellow leaders, and sharing and being raw with us. So let's give another round of applause for Jen Wall.
You did great. Love that story.